All right, it's time for our daily dose of cope. We have Suko here with her plate of faces. She said it's too many bakas for the leopards. We got the black cats stepping in. So let's go ahead and jump into these stories. I opened up the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit, and this is one of the first stories that popped out. A spicy mayo about to self-deport. So this man named El Funky, a Cuban rapper who has supported Donald Trump, is reportedly facing deportation. A quote from him: "I have 30 days to leave the country or I will be deported." These people supported Trump, and now they're about to get, oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Ooh. All right, here's the article. Cuban pro-Trump rapper El Funky at risk of deportation. I have 30 days to leave the country. Cuban rapper and Trump supporter is facing deportation after migrating to the U.S. 4 years ago. According to Politico, the artist, real name Alexia Marquez Duane, was denied residency application earlier this month under the 1966 Cuban Adjustment Act. In 2017, under the Obama administration, the act was amended to prohibit exemption for Cuban migrants who enter the country without a visa. Duane now has 30 days to leave the U.S. or be deported, where he may face imprisonment in Cuba. And this man is featured on a protest anthem called Patria y Vida. He says, "I have 30 days to leave the country or I'll be deported," reads the caption, translated from Spanish to English. "I ask all my Cuban brothers and sisters who know my anti-communist history and the members of Congress of this country who need your support more than ever." And I guess he's waving the Cuban flag. El Funky fled from Cuba to reside in Miami, and although he was previously championed by Cuban politicians Little Marco Rubio and Mario Diaz-Balart, the two haven't publicly spoken on the rapper's behalf. But the possibility of deportation hasn't changed El Funky's stance on Trump, despite him not being able to legally vote. So he's still pro-Trump, like, yay, let's go. Currently, the only Florida representative to advocate for El Funky is Maria Elvira Salazar, who the rapper called a political refugee who deserves the full protection of U.S. immigration law. He came here illegally. He didn't have a visa, so he's going to have to go. This is what he supported. He supports Trump, so he has to go too. So Trump is a grifter. He has a meme coin where he's using to raise money, even though he's the president of the United States and he's not really supposed to be doing that. But anyways, he used his meme coin and he basically said, if you buy some of my meme coin, you can come and meet me. And this was the dinner where they bought this and they came to meet him. So this picture was from this man named Matthew Champion. It says 200 people spent millions on Trump's meme coin and were rewarded with this dinner. I guess this is halibut. This might be a small piece of steak. It looks like it's probably smaller than the palm of my hand. It is wild that this man has a meme coin. This dude is a grifter and Congress is just letting him do whatever. The Supreme Court is just letting him do whatever. His MAGA supporters are like, yay, let's do it. I'm going to just keep throwing this money at him. It's like, dude, this is wild. This is illegal. Illegal. I don't plan on talking about this very much, but I do want to say he raised about $150 million at this dinner. The top 25 wallets were promised a private reception and guided tour. Others, such as 25-year-old Nicholas Pinto, whose dad drove him to the event in his Lamborghini, left underwhelmed and still hungry. The food sucked. Wasn't given any drinks other than water or Trump's wine. I don't drink, so I had water. My glass was only filled once. Trump only made a brief appearance, Pinto said. He didn't talk to any of the 220 guests, maybe the top 25. All in, the president was there for 23 minutes, Pinto said. Trump delivered a brief address rehashing old crypto talking points and then left on a helicopter before taking any questions or pictures with his meme coin contest winners. So he spent 23 minutes with these people and raised $150 million. These people are some dang on suckers. Here's an account called Triggered Much. His bio says TDS is real and those that have it need to seek mental health counseling. Liberalism is a mental health issue. Go cry some more. I said what I said. So they voted to own the libs. They voted to trigger the libs. This dude has a picture that says daddy's home. These people are weird. Triggered Much is talking to Donald Trump here saying, "Dear Don, I voted for you 3 times. I think you're absolutely wonderful for this country. I couldn't be more happy with your first few months in office. However, you ran part of your campaign on transparency, on honesty, on accountability. What is happening with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and the department that they are running is putting a stain on your administration. It is very sad because they are lying like he is a liar, so it matches. They are withholding information, and they are more and more seeming like the deep state fakes. It makes me question everything you do because you support them, and the majority of us mega patriot know there is something shady about both of them. Where is the Epstein list? Where are the arrests? Why is Pam Bondi doing 9,000 television interviews but no arrests have been made? A lot of us are starting to figure out that your administration is no different than any other administration. It's all dirty, and that is not only disappointing, but it's very disheartening." He has a sad, y'all. He has a sad that a liar is supporting other liars. It's wild out there, y'all. This whole cutting FEMA is going to jack up red states. Cutting FEMA, the way they cut the National Weather Service and NOAA, is going to jack up red states because many of them are in Tornado Alley and Hurricane Alley. And so this post here from Brian Tyler Cohen is titled, "Trump just denied North Carolina's request for FEMA relief from Hurricane Helene, calling it not warranted." And Hurricane Helene is where he was doing a press conference while Biden was still president, and he was acting like he was going to be so much better as far as FEMA for these people, but now he's just like, nope, y'all can figure it out on your own. And many of these states that just had storms come through, this man still hasn't talked about them and the lives that were lost. These people voted for this mess because he came in cutting things like Elon Musk and that chainsaw. Now we're about to end with this angry letter from Matt. He says, "I'm done with the GOP. You've lost me. You had your chance and you effing blew it. I was so excited for this administration because of the promise of Doge. But then I watched as the GOP do nothing while Elon's businesses were bombed and Teslas were vandalized. Not one vote, not one dead vote. Months went by, still no votes. We are not now at the end of May, and we still have not had one single effing vote on the Doge cuts. It's the end of May. My only conclusion can be that the GOP does not want to end the waste and fraud. This is a sobering realization for everyone who was stoked for Elon and Doge. Mark my words, this betrayal will haunt the GOP forever. I will remember you choosing to do nothing. You took photos with Elon. You talked about Doge. You said you loved cutting waste and fraud. But when the time came to do something, none of you did. None of you. So you've lost me. You've lost my trust. I thought you'd be different than the Democrats. But I guess the GOP lies too." And the only difference between the GOP and the Democrats seemed to be that the Democrats actually pass legislation and the GOP does not. And that's the thing. They're probably not going to be able to get legislation passed because these MAGA people are MAGA on MAGA. And some really do understand that cutting a bunch of stuff will lead to them probably getting axed when the midterms come, because cutting food for impoverished people, the elderly, veterans, all of that is not going to be particularly pleasant. I'm sorry, people are going to start struggling, even red voters. So, y'all, that's the end of today's slideshow and presentation. Let me know what you think. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
The President of the United States is fucking lying. I think This whole administration has completely lost their fucking mind!